Barcelona and Real Madrid are going to be meeting in the Spanish Super Cup final, which will be played at the King Fahd Stadium in Saudi Arabia. I've already said that if Barcelona wins this title, it's going to boost their confidence and make them believe that yes, this Barcelona team can win many trophies. We can't be better than Real Madrid, because in the past few games, the only thing that has been happening is Real Madrid beating FC Barcelona. Real Madrid has always been our biggest rival. Like literally, FC Barcelona have only won Real Madrid twice in the past 18 months. We have beaten Real Madrid in a friendly, which was 1-0, and we have also beaten Real Madrid 4-0 last year, and that's about it. The rest of the Clásicos that did happen, Real Madrid were able to win. So this is going to be a year, and I hope that Barcelona and Xavi Hernandez could do this, but I hope that this could be a year where Barcelona can claim that they are much more superior to Real Madrid in all areas. We want to be able to win La Liga. We want to be able to beat Real Madrid within the league and take the Spanish Super Cup home. Now look, I'm going to be taking this pre-match preview in a very different approach. This video is going to be very inspired by an article that I did read from The Athletic, which was talking about how FC Barcelona and Real Madrid are bringing a brand new era. And what do I mean by this? Look, when these two teams play against one another, I want us to understand just how strong these two teams are going to be in about 18 months. Because no longer are we seeing these Clásicos being about, okay, who's going to be the player that is going to be scoring the most? Is it going to be Messi? Is it going to be Cristiano Ronaldo? Or like what we saw in the past 18 months, is it going to be Lewandowski? Is it going to be Benzema? It's really no longer about that. This new era that we are going to go into regarding FC Barcelona and Real Madrid is much more about who can play much more as a collective, who has better understanding within these group of players, because that is what's going to dictate who is going to be the one coming out on top, FC Barcelona or Real Madrid. We're not going to be seeing games, for example, like how we saw Barcelona playing bad and then Messi came on to save the day, or Real Madrid play bad and then Benzema came on to save the day. That no longer exists, and especially in this season, it's more about who can inspire this team to become greater as a collective. And surprisingly, both of these teams are showing similarities on how they perform, because it comes in a form of duos. And let me explain what I mean by this. Real Madrid are creating a duo between Rodrigo and Vinicius that can be built on top of. They're both Brazilian, they are both around the same age, the same type of transfer did happen. They both had to wait until the age of 18 years old to move to Real Madrid, and now they are a wreckage in Europe with their speed, their goals, their balance with the ball, the off the ball movement that Rodrigo brings. It is world class, and both players also look to always play the ball centrally. And I think that one of the players that can be able to complete what this attack is doing between Rodrigo and Vinicius, it is Endrick, which is going to make Real Madrid very powerful. Let's go back to FC Barcelona. You look at the duo that is being built between Pedri and Xavi, another duo that can be built on top of. Both are from Spain, they are around the same age, they both play in the same positions, which is in the central midfield position. You look at Pedri. Pedri is the one that organizes, he dispossesses, he likes to switch play very fast, he's very comfortable living between the lines and can also play in very deep areas. Xavi also likes to steal the ball, intercept, and he lives on making those runs between the fullback of the opposition and the center back of the opposition. There's a main reason why Dembele and Rafinha have been so efficient on the wings. It is because Pedri and Xavi do all of the work. They stretch the defense, they make the defense of the opposition just question, who should I be defending, Dembele or should I defend Xavi, who is running right through me? And there is one player that can complete this duo to make them become even greater, which is going to be a central defensive midfielder, very similar to how a striker like Endrick is going to be able to complete what Rodrigo and Vinicius are building. So as for Xavi and Pedri, they're just waiting on who's going to be that next Sergio Busquets, and hopefully that next central defensive midfielder for FC Barcelona can allow and give Pedri more permission to be playing higher up the pitch. And so let's go back to Real Madrid. They have Camavinga and also Tchouaméni in the midfield. Both are world-class midfielders. They know how to defend spaces. Just imagine Camavinga and Tchouaméni getting the best traits of Frankie and Busquets. They both have the awareness of Busquets and they both have the athleticism of Frankie. You know how scary that is to be having two players like that, which is again Camavinga and Tchouaméni. Many teams do struggle to get through these two central midfielders. And then when you add those little touches, right, of both of these players being great at dribbling with the ball, and especially with Camavinga, you have one hell of a midfield. And just like I have explained how Pedri and Xavi, Vinicius and Rodrigo are going to be working out in the future, the one player that would be able to complete Camavinga and Tchouaméni in the midfield could be Bellingham, the one midfielder that is much more of a attacker than Tchouaméni and Camavinga, and he himself will be able to complete the trinity within Real Madrid's midfield. It's just so amazing to witness how everything is forming. And lastly, let's go back to FC Barcelona, and I hope that by this point of the video you're starting to understand just how great Real Madrid and FC Barcelona will be in the future. So let's talk about Alejandro Balde. Balde and Ansu Fati. You may say that this duo may not work. Ansu Fati should never partake on anything under Xavi Hernandez within these next 18 months. You can say and be a naysayer about Ansu Fati, but I don't think so. I think that if we have a out of form Ansu Fati putting Barcelona up 2-1 against Real Betis in the semifinals of the Spanish Super Cup, and also a out of form Ansu Fati scoring the winner against Intercity, I don't think Ansu Fati is bad at all. And then when you combine Ansu Fati's performance with Alejandro Balde running through that left flank, who's becoming a breakout star for FC Barcelona, you really do have something dangerous on that left side. These two must gel. Now, surprisingly, Xavi Hernandez has not really chose this duo to be starting day in, day out. When we see Balde starting on the left back position, we usually see Dembele on the left or Ferran on the left. When we see Ansu Fati starting on the left wing, we don't really see Alejandro Balde starting as a left back. We see Jordi Alba. But I think that in the future, we will see Xavi Hernandez saying, okay, let's officially start building what this left flank will look like. And that could be Ansu Fati and Alejandro Balde. And surprisingly, maybe we could see this against Real Madrid tomorrow night. And the one player that would be able to complete Ansu Fati and Alejandro Balde to really become dangerous and to form some sort of trio would be a top striker. I have no idea who that striker could be in the near future after Lewandowski, but it's gonna have to be a target man, because both of these players, Balde and Ansu Fati, they love to take down so many players on the left side and always look for that target man inside the box. And I have no idea who that could be. It could be Mokoko building with Ansu and Alejandro Balde. Could it be someone like Erling Haaland? Could it be Kylian Mbappe? I have no idea. I'm just naming out players that could go in that position, but that's basically it. Both of these teams are very impressive. I do believe that the team that will win tomorrow night would be the team that played much more as a unit. And you know that Xavi Hernandez and Barcelona are all about unity. And one of the things that I want to see happen in this final is Barcelona desperately wanting to put the game away as soon as possible. This has been one of my biggest critiques with this FC Barcelona squad, because I did explain this in the previous video. Barcelona are so good at stealing the ball. They're so good at intercepting the ball. They're so good at pressing the opposition and in high places of the field. And they also pass so well, right? The speed of the ball is excellent. You can see that Xavi Hernandez has really been improving these players, but when it comes to making that final pass that leads towards a goal, that is the only thing that is missing. It's like we just become so lazy in the final stage or in the final phase of the attack. And I remember Xavi Hernandez stating to his players during extra time, saying that, why are we playing so slow? Like, oh my god, what is going on? This is a final. We have to play like we actually want to play and be here. Like, he was pissed at his players because of how slow they started to play at extra time, acting like this was not a final, which is very true. Like, I don't want these players to ever believe that just because their team is individually better than the previous Barcelona squads that we have seen in the past 4 years, just because they know that they have more talent does not mean that they do not need to put any hard work on the pitch. They have to. You need to bring in the work. You need to support your players, support your teammates, be aware of the opportunities around you, play with enthusiasm, play with optimism, play knowing that there is a chance that you can make a difference on the field and everything will go well, right? Let me pull out another receipt. Pedri also said in the post-match review, he was stating that for some reason Barcelona psychologically just drop a level because they think that after going up 1-0, Barcelona do not have to try as hard, and that again is a very big problem. So let's move on towards the most possible starting 11 that we could see face up against Real Madrid. So most likely we will see a 4-3-3 formation. We will be having Ter Stegen in goal. Right now I do consider as the best goalkeeper in the world, with Koundé as the right back, Ronald Araujo and Christensen as a center back duo, with Alejandro Balde starting on the left back position. I think that there was a very big reason on why Balde barely got any minutes in the previous game. It is because Xavi Hernandez wants to save the energy of Balde in this final. And he also had a great game against Real Madrid where they have lost 3-1 about 4 months ago. And then our midfield being Frankie, Xavi and Pedri, with our front three being Ansu Fati, Lewandowski and Dembele. I know that we most likely will see Rafinha in that front three, but I would much rather prefer having Ansu, Lewandowski and Dembele. This is going to be the game for Ansu. We need Ansu to come up and score these goals. If there's any player that needs it more out of these three players, which is Ansu, Lewandowski and Dembele, it is Ansu Fati. And hopefully Lewandowski can support his teammate along the way, because Lewandowski is the experienced one. He is the mentor, and Ansu Fati has to feed off of that. So that is it, right? That will be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.